Right, chapter 2 is on the theme of resources. Right, one of the reasons why businessmen find other world so relevant to business is because Sun Tzu, unlike other strategies, emphasize resources as part of art of war. Now, what he does was that one of the key concepts is that he would cost out chariots, soldiers, materials, transporting 1,000 miles, entertainment, glue, lacquer, armor, thousands of gold pieces. He estimates the costing. And I like Sun Tzu in a way, because being a chartered accountant myself, that I find that he's using costing approaches. And only then, after all this costing, 100,000 soldiers are ready to move. And Sun Tzu also emphasized that the fact that war shouldn't be fought because it means deprivation for the people. People get poorer and prices rise whenever soldiers gather. So Sun Tzu not only is he a war strategist, but he's also an economist. He considered the macroeconomic aspect of war. And Sun Tzu emphasized speed in war. This is important, that the longer the war fought, the greater resources are being consumed. And he explained to you why war should be speedy. Too long a war, the spears get blunt, and morale starts to sink. So you find that the strength gets depleted, and that the treasury gets emptied, and therefore the state is put at risk. So Sun Tzu is definitely not for long, drawn battles. And Sun Tzu described those who are adepts at war. What are they? They are not hasty to fight a war. Then there's also no second levy or consumption. You recruit the troops you need to fight right from the start adequately. There cannot be a second round of recruitment. And of course, you must be equipped and you must have food aplenty vis-a-vis the enemy. And so to emphasize that for that to happen, you have to forage for provisions. And you so that you must also try to mount the enemy chariots after every battle. So Sun Tzu is very much for recycling. Take enemy resources and reuse them. Don't burn them away, don't tear them away, don't throw them away. Sun Tzu emphasizes that you must try to win the hearts of the prisoners of war, and you must care for them. Sun Tzu also emphasized one interesting aspect, and I've been thinking about why is it 1:20. Sun Tzu says that one of the enemy resource is worth 20 of our own. Probably the trouble to get this resource, grain for example, from homeland to the battlefield, is so costly that it's far better for you to then take other people's resources. So 1:20 is a very interesting ratio. And reward. Sun Tzu emphasized heavily on reward. Stir them to victory. He emphasized reward the top 10%. And how do I get that? For every 10 chariots, Sun Tzu says, first to take is rewarded. 10 chariots of the enemy. When you get enemy 10 chariots, reward the first one who was able to do it as the motivational factor. So reward for Sun Tzu has a strong motivational bias. And of course, this is chapter 2.